Hey, so if you want to learn the absolute basics of creating a vignette for your vintage booth, this video is for you. So my name's Crystal. I'm owner of VintageBoothPro.com, and we have a very lively vintage booth owner community over on Facebook. And I see the question a lot, why do I not know how to make vignettes? And if you're like me, you see the beautiful vignettes that people create in the booths. They're just beautiful booths overall. And you wonder, why can't I do that? Why does my booth look so simple compared to these elaborate, beautiful vignettes? So I was researching on Pinterest the other day, and I found this super old picture. It looks like it was like copied from a news guidebook or something, but I'll pop it up here. Explains perfectly the 5 things you need for every vignette. And you can screenshot it, but I am going to help you out and give you a much better picture at the end of the video. I'm going to walk you through those 5 things, give you tons of examples, and then we're going to go to my booth and try to recreate that because I'm still learning too. So let's break it down. Very easy, very simple. Oh, I'm also going to give you a mnemonic device to remember how to create the perfect vignette when you're out in the world and you just, want to throw something together. And you know what? Once you get it, it's going to be so easy. So let's get into it. First of all, what is a vignette? A vignette is just a small group of items that tells a story. And it's versatile. You can easily change it from one week to the next. If you have one spot in your booth that is the most often visited, change that out with different vignettes continuously, once a week or something, and it will continue bringing more and more people in. And I know you've heard it, and so we talk about it a lot, is storytelling. And that's a huge piece of being successful in your vintage booth. It's about giving everything a job in your booth. Now, if you watched my last video was about Pinterest predicts and the upcoming trends we hope to see. I thought it'd be funny, and I took a picture of this. It's like a stone candle holder, and I thought it'd be funny and post it and say, hey, I'm doing the biophilic design, but that's not really it. Like, that's not it at all. That's not the point. The point is to bring in a grouping of things that help you tell the story of we are creating the biophilic design. We are offering that to you so to make your life easier. And so you buy more from me and use me as your trusted resource for everything that you love in this particular design. So let's get into the 5 pieces that every vignette needs. Okay, and I'm going to show some beautiful examples. And once you learn these 5 things, you'll start seeing these examples everywhere. So I always use Pottery Barn as an example. Their lookbooks, their inspiration is great for learning. Antique Farmhouse. If you don't get their emails, I am so excited when their email comes through because I just love to look at how they've designed things. And it's just antiquefarmhouse.com, I think. I'll link it below. I'll double check and make sure. Another high-end website that you can look at is called Studio McGee or McGee and Company. Just search up Studio McGee. It's beautiful. The things are extremely expensive, but they know how to do interior design. And that's really what it all boils down to, are these principles of interior design. Okay, so the number one thing that every vignette needs is a backdrop, something large that sets the stage. This could be a mirror, a framed print, a vintage window, or antique shutters, something big that helps bring shoppers in from the aisle. Because we have 3 seconds. We are all goldfish and we have very short memory spans. And so people are walking from booth to booth. Grab them with that big backdrop item from your vignette. Okay, the second thing is something tall to bring in height. And this keeps everything from looking flat. And this could be a lamp, a tall vase, candlesticks even. So it doesn't have to be centered perfectly. Slightly off to the side feels more natural even. And you can see some amazing examples here, like I said, from Pottery Barn. And I'm telling you, once you click over to these websites, scroll for 2 seconds and the perfect example will pop up. So I will show you some examples here and you can see exactly how it is. They have the backdrop, they have something tall. And then the next thing I want to talk about is layered art or frames. And this is where your vignette starts looking collected instead of cluttered. So lean pieces up against your wall, overlap them, and let them touch. So this, if you have some similar artwork or similar frames that you want to put up for sale in your booth, this is a great way to do that. Okay, the next one up is something organic. So you want to bring life into your vignette. In vintage booths, it's a little more difficult because I'm not in there often enough to water anything to make it to have something that's actually alive. Also, I'm not good at keeping plants alive in general. So, faux greenery is the way to go for me. You choose your own path there. So, something living or something that looks alive. So, greenery, flowers, branches, even natural textiles like wood or stone. So, like I said, faux greenery works. It just will soften everything. Okay. And then your final piece is your anchor piece or the star, something that brings it all together. This could be maybe your most expensive piece that you want to have on display. This is your hero, the thing you want people to notice. So everything else is framing this one item. So it could be a bowl, a sculpture, a stack of books with something on top. And if everything is special, nothing is. Yeah. So let's make one thing special in each vignette. So you can pull in similar type items, similar design styles, similar colors, but make one thing the most important item. So, how to build a vignette in 60 seconds. Number one, start with something large in the back. Number two, add height. Number three, layer art. Number four, something organic. And number five, finish with one anchor. If it feels off, remove one thing. Less almost always looks better. So why does this matter in a vintage booth? Because people will argue with me, and they do daily, that if they're selling toys, they just put them on the peg wall, and that works for them, and that's perfect. But if you are more on the home decor side, if you are trying to sell vintage artwork, vintage stoneware pieces, whatever the case may be, a good vignette is a silent salesperson. And that salesperson is telling the story. Seems crazy to say it, but once you do it and once you see it, and once we look at some examples of really good, amazing vignettes, you will understand. Okay, so let's talk about the mnemonic device. Okay, so I have a couple options for the mnemonic devices that will help you remember it because it's easy to look at a video and listen and say, okay, there's 5 things, but then you're like, wait a minute, what was that? Okay, so think about BHAOS. BHAOS. Backdrop, height, art, organic, star. It mirrors the actual order you want to build the vignette. So your backdrop, your height, your art, your organic, and your star. And star is your number one piece that you want to have on display because not everyone can be special. Just the one thing we want the one thing to be special. 5 pieces, and that's it. And you can create 100 vignettes in your booth. You can create one vignette in your booth. Just try it and see what works for you. So let's walk through BHAOS, backdrop, something large behind, height, lamp, vase, candlestick, art, layered frames or signs or artwork, organic, greenery, or natural texture, star, the one piece you want to sell. This one I really love, and tell me what you think about it. Big, tall, layered, living, and loved. Big, tall, layered, living, loved. Okay. So big is your backdrop, tall is your height, layered is your art or frames, living is organic, and loved is your anchor or star. Big, tall, layered, living, and loved. Okay, so let's go through some examples. Like I said, I love Pottery Barn. Just to look at online, I can never afford any of their pieces, but let's look at this from their inspiration. So, first of all, you see the backdrop is the artwork. You see the height is the tall vases, and the height is kind of their organic too. So that's an important thing to note that's, you can play with that a little bit. The artwork, you can see there are some pieces of art that are framed and organic. I said that's the leaves they have up there. And now you tell me, what do you think the star is? In my opinion, it is the console table because I'm sure that is their most expensive piece. And it really stands out in this picture. It is beautiful. Okay, let's go back to Studio McGee. So some more examples that it's so funny once you learn these 5 patterns, you'll see them everywhere and it's so quick and easy to spot. So in this Studio McGee example, the very unique mirror is the background. The height could either be the lamp or the vase. The art would be the books layered up. The organic would be the leaves that are in the vase, the plant, whatever it's called. And the star, I think, are the candlesticks or the table. What do you think? The next one also is from Studio McGee, which is just everything's so beautiful. My goodness. So this is actually from a bedroom. So just to note how this same foundation can be put in any room of your house or any spot in your vintage booth. So first of all, the Lake Tahoe image in the background. It also plays for the heights. So that's where I was saying you could kind of mix it up a little bit. The artwork is layered here with 2 cool pieces of art, and then the organic in the shorter vase. And the star, I think, is that incredible chest that serves as the nightstand. All right, let's find one more. Okay, this one. Okay, this one has the big, huge round mirror as the background. It has the tall vase for the height. The artwork is positioned right below the mirror. The organic is obviously the tall leaves that are coming out of the vase. And the star could be the lamp, could be the books, could be the console table. Actually, the star might even be the mirror because that is stunning. Okay, so let's get over to my booth and I'll show you what it's looking like right now and see if building vignettes makes a difference. So here we are in my booth. You can see it's really empty, but at the same time, it's a cluttered mess. I took a few minutes. I'm still taking Christmas out. So I had in mind to use these 3 wood wall art images. They're really nice. I have a Bible verse kind of stand out against my wall color. And so, of course, I have a shelf over here, so I can't get them exactly centered, but let's just play like they are. I feel like nothing's ever centered in my booth. So I like the way that looks. So that is the background. For the height, I just so happened to have this crazy tall vase, and it's gotten a lot of attention on Facebook Marketplace. No one's bought it so far, so we're going to use it today. For my art, for my stacked, I happen to have these wall art pieces that I have in this kind of container. So hopefully that counts as the art portion. Now, I do not have much greenery. I happen to have these eucalyptus stems. They might look better in a vase, but hey, I'm covering the organic version here. And the last step would be the star. I chose these kind of cool candlesticks that are wood and brass. So yeah, I think it is, number one, a huge improvement from what it was before, and I kind of really dig it. What do you think? All right, so I hope you enjoyed Vignettes 101. This is just the foundation. So in part 2, we'll talk about things like odd numbers, color balance, and how to make your vignettes look intentional instead of accidental. Now, if you prefer reading this, I have it all in a blog post for you. So I will link that down below. I even go into more detail about each item and the psychological effects behind all those. And so if you prefer reading, head over to my blog and check it out there. And while you're there, sign up for my newsletter, vintageboothpro.com/newsletter. And if you like videos like this channel is all about educating vintage booth owners. I've been doing this for a few years and I'm still learning. And so I'm here to share everything that I've learned so far. So if you like that, I would love it so much if you would subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.